Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Indiana Grand Racecourse here on Saturday. It is July the 14th, 2018. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Indiana, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. The stakes races I'll be looking at are races 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the featured ninth race, which is the Indiana Derby. So those are races 4 through 9. Let's get on to it, starting off race number 4 from Indiana, which is the Mari Holman George Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and older. Field of 7 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the Indiana main track. Mile 16th, 1,700 meters. Top selection here. I like the number 5 horse, the 5 horse who is awestruck. Gonna go 5-7-6-3 in the superfecta. 5-7-6-3 super. Top selection to 5 horse awestruck. Brian Hernandez Jr. is on this 4-year filly by Tapit. George Arnold trains. Horse's most recent outing came the 16th of June at Churchill. A mile and 8th in the Florida Liz handicap. This horse finished 4th by 6 3/4 lengths there. Stalked early and then just kind of hit the wall. It just wasn't the day to win. I think with a massive step down in class back to Indiana, I like this horse's chances a lot better here than I would at Churchill. Before that, on the 10th of May at Churchill, 1 mile and option 6-2 claimer, horse won by 6 1/4 lengths. Took off clear, a little drifting in the straightaway, but it was a very clear race for this horse. And then before that, the 13th of April, Keeneland, 6.5 furlongs, lounge race, 76,000. Horse won by 5 1/4 lengths, almost on lead all throughout. Could have won by more, but they didn't want to kill the horse. First off the break, that was quite impressive. I like this horse around 2 turns here today. I think, like I said, a massive step down class from the last race. Should run a big one. Watch out. So to recount my selections for the 4th from Indiana, it's the Mari Holman George Stakes. As the top selection, used a 5 horse awestruck. Gonna go 5-7-6-3 in the superfecta. I'll use there's a pick 3 that begins with this race. I would go 5-7 in that. So now let's get on to race number 5 from Indiana. The 5th race, it's the Michael G. Schaefer Memorial, purse $100,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses going the distance of ground here of 1 mile and 70 yards on the main track. Mile 70, main track, a little over 1,600 meters. It's about a furlong and a quarter, shall we say. My top selection here. Here, can't hear myself. Sorry. Quite a bad ear infection at the minute, but hopefully you can hear me, but I can't hear myself. My top selection here, I like the number 3 horse, Pioneer Spirit. Gonna go 3-2-6-1 in the superfecta. 3-2-6-1 super. Top selection 3 horse, Pioneer Spirit. 6-1. Florent Giroux is on this 5-year-old horse by Malibu Moon. Brad Cox trains. Horse's most recent outing came the 16th of June at Churchill. A mile and 16th in optional 100 claimer. This horse finished 3rd by 4 3/4 lengths there. Set the pace early on and then just hit the wall. Just couldn't keep up with them there. Before that at Aqueduct, 1 mile and option 80 claimer. Horse won by 3/4 length on lead all throughout and just had a very nice victory there. And then at Aqueduct, 1 mile and option 80 claimer. Horse finished 4th by 15 3/4 lengths. Broke on top that day. Broke on top a little out. And then just kind of hit the wall at the end. It wasn't his day to win. And then before that, won at Aqueduct on the main track very easily on lead all throughout. He's the main speed in this race, and if he could set some easy fractions on the front end, I think he could go away with it. So I'll take my chances with him. In the multi-race, I'll use him, and I'll also use the 2 horse, Seeking the Soul. I think he can run a big race also, but the layoff does scare me just a tiny bit maybe, but other than that, he can run a big race, so watch out. So to recount my selections for the 5th from Indiana Grand, it's the Michael G. Schaefer Memorial. Gonna go with the 3 horse, Pioneer Spirit as the top selection. I'm gonna go 3-2-6-1 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 6 from Indiana. The 6th race, it's the Indiana General Assembly Distaff. Purse $100,000. It's for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 9 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the Indiana turf course. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. Top selection here. I like the number 4 horse. The number 4 horse, Lovely Bernadette. Gonna go 4-3-9-6 in the superfecta. 4396 Super to the multi-race now. I would definitely, I'm going to end off the pick 3 with this race. I'm going to use the 4 and the 3 here. I think it's a 2-horse race between those two. Maybe I'll use the 9-horse also, Lovely Lori, but definitely the 4 and 3. I think the 3-horse Kalachi Queen could run a big one at 12 to 1. She's sitting on a big race also, but my top selection, the 4-horse Lovely Bernadette, 4-year-old filly by Wilburn. Florent Giroux is on this one for Bernard Flint. Horse's most recent outing came at Churchill the 9th of June, mile 16th in the Grade 3 Mint Julep Stakes. His horse won by a neck and closed up from the back of the pack, got there in the end. Decent effort for this horse. Before that, the 14th of April, Keelan, mile 16th in Grade 1 Jenny Wiley. One of the toughest Grade 1s of the Keelan meeting. This horse just finished 11th by 14.5 lengths, never really got into it. And then the Hillsborough Tampa, mile 8th, March the 10th. Horse finished 8th by 9.25 lengths, and again, just really didn't show up there. But here at Indiana, this horse is 2 for 1, 2 and 1. One victory that came in the Indiana Grand Distaff or Indiana Grand Stakes at here in Indiana, 1 mile last September the 6th. Horse won by 1.5 lengths, stalked early, got the lead, and then he took off clear. I like this horse a lot. I think he could run a big one, or she could run a big one, so watch out for her. And I think the 3-horse Kalachi Queen, she's sitting on a big race. She hasn't won in nearly 2 years, over 2 years now. Her last one came in the UK at Kempton on the all-weather and the Snowsdrop Stakes, where she won by a head after tracking the leaders early on. She got the lead, and then she took off. Very nice victory. But after that, she's just been running in the wrong races. I think here, fast pace in front of her, she could really run a big one, 12 to 1. Like I said, she's been sitting on a big race, so watch out for this 6-year-old mare. So to recap my selections for the 6th from Indiana, it's the Indiana General Assembly Distaff. I'm going to go with the 4-horse Lovely Bernadetta. I'm going to go 4-3-9-6 in the superfecta. I'll go 4-3. I'll go 4-3-9 in the pick 3. So now let's get on to race number 7 from Indiana. The 7th race, it's the Warriors Veterans Stakes, purse $100,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 14 horses. The 13 and 14 are both main track onlys. Also eligible. So only 12 can go on the turf course. Distance of ground here of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and a 16th on the lawn. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. My top selection here, I like the number, what race are we up to? I like the number 3-horse Swagger Jagger. I'm going to go 3-7-5-10, 3-7-5-10 super. Top selection 3-horse Swagger Jagger, 6 to 1 here, 5-year-old horse by Crown of Thorns. Ricardo Sanchano Jr. is on this one. Horse's most recent outing came 23rd of June at Canterbury, 1 mile in the Mystic Lake Mile. This horse finished 4th by 3.25 lengths there. Stalked early and just had nothing in the straightaway. Couldn't keep up with them there. Before the 25th of March at Tampa, mile 8th in Turf Classic, this horse won by a nose that day. Stalked early, closed up well, and got the victory. Very nice one for this horse. And then the Old Man Elegant Stakes at Gulfstream, mile 16th, February 17th. Horse finished 5th by 5.25 lengths. And then show a lot that race. It wasn't the day to win, but has run here at Indiana in the past 2-0 on this turf course. But those were in, not so good races, and since then this horse has really gotten a lot better, I think, by running down in Gulfstream. He's really, he showed a lot more than he was before those Indiana races, and I like his, he's a good post right here today. He's a good stalking position, and I think at 6 to 1 he can run a big one, so watch out. So to recap my selections for the 7th from Indiana, it's the Warriors Veteran Stakes. Going to use the 3-horse Swagger Jagger as a top selection. Going to go 3-7-5-10 in the super. So now let's get on to race number 8 from Indiana. The 8th race, it's the Indiana Oaks, the Grade 3 Indiana Oaks. Purse $200,000. It's for 3-year-old fillies. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the Indiana dirt course. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. My top selection here, I like the number 5-horse. The 5-horse Tug Vu to me. Hopefully I said that right. Pardon me if I didn't. I'm going to go 5-3-7-6 in the superfecta. 5-3-7-6 super. My top selection in a single multi-race would be the 5-horse Tug Vu to me. Julien Lepeau is on the 3-year-old filly by Violence, who's by biblical points, who's by point given. This horse's most recent outing came 9th of June at Belmont, a mile in the Grade 1 Acorn. This horse finished 2nd that day by 2 lengths. Dueled for most of the race there, and he just couldn't catch Manami Girl, who just ran a hell of a race. first start back from the Oaks. Before that, in the 8 bells at Churchill Derby weekend, 7 furlongs, May the 4th, his horse finished second by 1 3/4 lengths and just couldn't get that good closing kick at the end. It wasn't his day to win. And then before that, the Fairground, 6 furlongs, main special weight 41,000. First off, a pretty long layoff. This horse won by 11 1/4 lengths. This destroyed the race. Could have won by more, but Sean Bridge Mahan, who rode this horse, didn't want to kill it. It just won for fun there. Getting 2 turns again should really help this horse. And like I said, I just think this horse should really run a big one. This race is not nearly as tough as the last 2 races this horse has run in. And like I said, just watch out. So to recap my selections for the 8th from Indiana, it's the Grade 3 Indiana Oaks. Gonna go with the 5 horse. Gonna go 5, 3, 7, 6 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 9 from Indiana, which is the feature race of the evening. The 9th race, it's the Grade 3 Indiana Derby. Purse $500,000. It's for 3-year-olds here. Field of 9 horses going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the main track. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. My top selection here, I like the number 8 horse. The number 8 horse, King Zachary. Gonna go 8-4-6-7, 8-4-6-7 super. Top selection, 8 horse, King Zachary, 6-5. Robbie Alvarado's on this trio colt by Curlin. Horse's most recent outing came the 16th of June at Churchill. A mile 16th in the Grade 3 Mount win. This horse won by 4 3/4 lengths. Stalked early and then took off clear in the end. A very good victory for this horse. The 3rd place finisher, actually, Axman, is running in the Los Al Derby today. This horse just destroyed the field. Before that in Churchill, Sloppy Going, mile 16th, opposite 75 Claimer. This horse won by half length. He stalked early and then he got the lead, and he didn't take off, but he got the victory. Good victory for this horse there. Major improvement off the start before, which came in the Grade 2 Wood Memorial here at Aqueduct, mile 8th, April 7th. Horse finished 6th by 13.5 lengths. He just really couldn't get into it there. A little wide and just wasn't his day to win. And then at Gulfstream, mile 16th, main special weight 48,000. Horse won by 7 3/4 lengths. Had the speed going a mile 16th at Gulfstream, which you need from the inside, and he just took off clear. I like this horse a lot here today. Just watch out for him to run a big one. To the multi-race now, I'll use him and the 4 horse Dark Vader. So to recap my selections for the 9th from Indiana Grand, it's the Grade 3 Indiana Derby. Gonna go with the number 8 horse, King Zachary. Gonna go 8-4-6-7 in the superfecta. I'll go 8-4 in the multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.